everyone, it's your girl Brain Shanae, and today I pretty much will be sharing with you all the books I acquired in June. So pretty much this is my June book haul. So let me go ahead and get started and jump right in. I had acquired, I believe, 19 books in June. I really don't know how I did it, because mostly like half of June I was in Puerto Rico, but of course pre-orders came and book box subscriptions came, so like I have a lot. So one of the boxes that I got that I pre-ordered is Blackout. I'm currently reading this right now, and this is Blackout is pretty much full of love stories, and they're by pretty much all of my favorite authors. It's by pretty much all my favorite authors. It's Danielle Clayton, Tiffany D. Jackson, Nick Stone, Angie Thomas, Ashley Woodfolk, and Nicola Yoon. And this is the Barnes & Noble exclusive, which edition that I got from Barnes & Noble, of course. So yeah, I'm currently reading this now, and I'm loving it. I'm loving the love stories. I love, like, it's all pretty much consumed with it's stories, but it's in a blackout. So I really am enjoying the book so far. So this is one book. Next book that I pre-ordered, and I also got from my Unplugged book box box that I pretty much about to be a subscriber to. I got Darling by Kay Ankrum. This is a Peter Pan retelling, but a lot of people are getting this confused as it is a fantasy, but it is not. It is a contemporary thriller. So if you are interested in this book, just keep that in mind, that it is contemporary thriller. And I'm looking forward to reading this. This is one of the first books that I'll be reading by Kay Ankrum. Her other books she did The Wicker King and The Weight of the Stars, which I do eventually need to read, but I'll just start out with this one first by her. And I'm just enthralled with the cover altogether. And then if you take like the dust jacket off, it's just beautiful. Like, I love it so much. Like, I love the rose too. It's just really enticing. So I'm definitely looking forward to reading this. Next book is a pre-order, and this is This Poison Heart by Kaylin Barron. Of course I had to pre-order this. I loved Cinderella is Dead, so I had to get this one too, and I'm looking forward to reading this retelling. I think this is a Rumpelstiltskin retelling, I believe. But yeah, like, if you take the dust jacket off, look at this. Just look at this. Oh my gosh, it is beautiful, right? It is divine. Like, I love this. But let me go ahead and read the synopsis for this book, just in case if you haven't read this. But if you haven't read this, I suggest you also read Cinderella's Dead, which is right here. But yeah, let me go ahead and read the synopsis. So it says, strange magic blooms behind a poisoned gate. Briseis has a gift. With a single touch, she can grow plants from tiny seeds to rich blooms. When Briseis' aunt dies and wills her a dilapidated estate in royal New York, Bree and her parents hope that surrounded by plants and flowers, she will finally learn to control her gift. But their new home is sinister in ways they never expected. It comes with a mysterious set of instructions, a walled garden filled with the deadliest botanicals in the world, and generations of secrets. There is more to Bree's sudden inheritance than she would or could have imagined, and she is determined to uncover it. It says, from the best-selling author of Cinderella's Dead comes an enchanting story about a young woman with the power to conquer the dark forces descending around her. So, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to reading this, and oh my gosh, I gotta read it because I'm really interested to finding out more about Briseis. I'm gonna call her Briseis because it reminds me of, like, Achilles and, you know, the Trojan War and stuff, and Briseis. So yeah. And the cover is so beautiful. But yeah, so I had gotten this as well in June. Next thing are two comics that I'm definitely looking forward to read, and that is Black Panther, Long Live the King. It's featuring an all-new adventure written by award-winning author Nnedi Okorafor, and all that. So we have that right here. So I had gotten this comic, and I'm definitely looking forward to reading it. I had read Shuri. There was a couple comics that I had read this year. I read Shuri, The Search for Black Panther, and just Shuri's 24/7 Vibranium. So I wanted to continue on reading about the Black Panther. So yeah, I have this comic, and the next comic I have is Wakanda Forever. It's by Nnedi Okorafor. You have Upper K, A Height, and a Koniv right here. So this is another comic. It has Spider-Man in it. But yeah, so I had to get these comics. I can't help myself with comics now. Like, I blame Ashley from the Bookish Realm. She is awesome, and I love her like comic selection. And I'm like, okay, she got me into comics and graphic novels and stuff like that. So thank you, Ashley. So yeah, so I have this. I had purchased these in June. Next thing I had pre-ordered is A Chorus Rises by Bethany C. Morrow. She had written A Song Below Water, which I have right here that I need to really read. So this is the second one. Some people have said that for this book, you could just read it without reading A Song Below Water. But I know within The Song Below Water, they do mention the main character, Naomi in the first book. So I feel like you should read the first book anyway, just to get a little refresher of what you're going to be getting in this book. So yeah, I had gotten this book as well, which I do love the cover. If you take the dust jacket off, it's green and you have like the purple foiling. So yeah, so I gotta get on it. Like I said, literally most of my books have been pre-orders this month. Like in June, there's been a lot of great books coming out all at the same time, and I feel like that's also going to be happening this month in July. So yeah, so I had gotten this as well. Next book is, I've been dying to read this. I was thinking about getting the paperback, but I was like, I want the hardcover. So I had gotten the hardcover, and that is Homegoing by Yasi. I had read her other book, her sophomore book, Transcendent Kingdom, and I really loved it last year. So I want to read Homegoing, and it sounds really, really good. Like, let me just read this synopsis. So it says, a novel of breathtaking sweep and emotional power that traces 300 years in Ghana, and along the way also becomes a truly great American novel. Extraordinary for its exquisite language, its implacable sorrow, its soaring beauty, and for its monumental portrait of the forces that shape families and nations, Homegoing heralds the arrival of a major new voice in contemporary fiction. Two half-sisters, Effia and Essie, are born into different villages in 18th century Ghana. Effia is married off to an Englishman and lives in comfort in the palatial rooms of Cape Coast Castle. Unbeknownst to Effia, her sister, Essie, is imprisoned beneath her in the castle's dungeons, sold with thousands of others into the Gold Coast booming slave trade, and shipped off to America, where her children and grandchildren will be raised in slavery. One thread of Homegoing follows Effia's descendants through centuries of warfare in Ghana, as the Fonte and Asante nations wrestle with the slave trade and British colonization. The other thread follows Essie and her children into America, from the plantations of the South to the Civil War and the Great Migration, from the coal mines of Pratt City, Alabama, to the jazz clubs and dope houses of 20th century Harlem, right up through the present day. Homegoing makes history visceral, and captures with singular and stunning immediacy how the memory of captivity came to be inscribed in the soul of a nation. Generation after generation, Yazi's magisterial first novel sets the fate of the individual against the obliterating movements of time, delivering unforgettable characters whose lives were shaped by historical forces beyond their control. Homegoing is a tremendous reading experience not to be missed by an astonishingly gifted young writer. So I'm definitely planning on reading this year, before this year is out, because this is definitely a book I feel like a lot of people should read. I know a lot of people have already read this and I'm behind, but I'm definitely still going to read this year. Like, this is a book I have to read this year. But like, yeah, I have to. So yeah, so I got this one. Next book I had gotten because I don't know what happened to my copy. Maybe I didn't have a copy in the first place. But it is Maya and the Rising by Rena Barron. I had read her Kingdom of Souls. I still need to read her Reaper of Souls. I had read this last year, but I need to refresh because her second book is coming out in this September. So I want to read this again and refresh my memory. So I had gotten a copy for myself. So we have this here. Next one, I am a rep for Pug Pages on Instagram, which my Instagram social media and all that are down below in the description. And I am a rep, like I said, a rep. And also my rep code, if you do want to try her, check out her website, is Brandy, B-R-A-N-D-I-E, or B-R-A-N-D-I, then 10. And she had done these books for me. Her end pages are amazing and I love her work. So the first book is Fireborn by Rosaria Munda. I haven't read this book and I wanted to read it, and I know they had changed the cover of the original one that came out. So yeah, but her specialty is the end pages. Just look at that. Like, her work is amazing. It's like ombre, and it's supposed to be pretty much resemble the dragons that are in this book. So yeah, I wanted to get this because I believe Flamefall, the second book, came out this year. So I want to read this as soon as I can. So I got this book right here, and it's just gorgeous. I love this. Second book that she had done for me is Excuse Me While I Ugly Cry by Joya Goffney. This came out earlier this year, and I have to read this as well. And so she also did the end pages for this book, and it is so beautiful. I love the glitter. I love everything that she has done to it, and it is flawless. So I love what she does. Like I said, I'll leave all her information down below. And like I said, if you want to use my rep code, it's Brandy, B-R-A-N-D-I 10. So if you do want to check her out, go ahead and do so, and you can use my rep code, which will get 10% off. So yeah, so I got both of these books right here. Next book, which I feel like I'm gonna do a whole review about this book alone, and that is Instructions for Dancing by Nicole Yoon. And this is the signed edition, so I had to get it signed. But oh my god, love this book so much. I'm just gonna do a whole review about it. I'm not even gonna get into it right now with y'all. I'm just not, because this book was amazing. Like, I love Nicola's writing, hands down. It's amazing. Where I feel like this definitely should be a movie. Like, she's on a roll. Her first two books, she got a movie deal. She should get a movie deal for this one too. So yeah, I also acquired this in June, which was a pre-order. Next book I had gotten from my Fairy Loot box. This is the Fairy Loot edition of Witches Steeped in Gold, which I have not read. That's by CNN Smart. And this right here, I wasn't really a big fan of the cover change. I really like to have the girls on there. I think it gives it a better touch. I do like the end pages though. I think that was really cool, but I didn't like how they stepped away from the original cover itself. But I got this. This is the Fairy Loot edition. So yeah, got this one. Next book is a pre-order, which I have to read. Like, I need to read. It's probably going to be a book that I have to read this month, to be honest with you. And that is Bloodlight Magic by Lascelles Zanberry. Oh my gosh, like, I've heard so many great things about this book, and I definitely got to read it for myself to get into the world this is built in, know more about the character building, the world building, everything about this book. Like, let me just read you synopsis, just in case you haven't read this book and you don't know what it's about, because it's really, like, amazing. So it says, let me catch my breath. All right. So it says, after years of waiting for her calling, a trial every witch must pass in order to come into their powers, the one thing Voya Thomas didn't expect was to fail. When Voya's ancestor gives her an unprecedented second chance to complete her calling, she agrees, and then is horrified when her task is to kill her first love. And this time, failure means every Thomas witch will be stripped of their magic. Voya is determined to save her family's magic no matter the cost. The problem is, Voya has never been in love, so for her to succeed, she'll first have to find the perfect guy and fast. Fortunately, a genetic matchmaking program has just hit the market. Her plan is to join the program, fall in love, and complete her task before the deadline. What she doesn't count on is being paired with the infuriating Lou. How can she fall in love with a guy who seemingly wants nothing to do with her? With mounting pressure from her family, Voya is caught between her morality and her duty to her bloodline. If she wants to save their heritage and Lou, or is it Luck? I said Lou, it's Luck. Or Luke, excuse me, Luke. She'll have to find something her ancestor wants more than blood. And in witchcraft, blood is everything. So yeah, I gotta read this. Like, I have to figure out what I'm gonna read this month, because I have a lot of books that I want to read that's that I have, and some, oops, sorry, and some books that are currently going to be coming out, like especially Life of Jake Livingston, I think is one of them. I know The Sun Became, I forget, it's by Shelley Parker Shan, I believe that she's coming out with her book. So yeah, that's a lot of books that's going to be coming up this month. So I gotta like try to figure out how I'm going to read all these books in a reasonable time and try to get through them if I can. But I definitely want to get into this book. So Bloodlight Magic right here. Next book I got from Book of the Month. I had a brain fart. But I have Half Sick of Shadows by Laura Sebastian. This is a story of Camelot. The story of Camelot is hers. So this is pretty much a retelling of author, but I'm thinking we're going deeper into where Morgan, I believe, or the Lady of Shalott, one of them has like these visions and feels she knows what the future holds for them, what Guinevere is going to do as far as with Lancelot, and how Arthur is going to take their affair with each other, everything like that. So yeah, she's like has this burden, and she's trying to figure out how to fix everything before it really happens. So I got this from the Book of the Month. Also, the other pick that I got for the Book of the Month is The Other Black Girl by Zakiya Delilah Harris. I have to read this as well. It might be a book that I read in August, to be honest, because I don't know if I'm gonna have time to read it, but I really do want to read this so much. So this was the other pick that I got for the Book of the Month. Next one is this is the UK edition, and this is Ace of Spades by Farida Laura Abike and Mide. I loved Ace of Spades so much. I even did a review about it, and it was amazing. So I had to get the UK cover. So that's the only reason why I got this. But even with the UK cover, like I have to take the dust certificate off so you can see. Like, look at that. Like, that's amazing. But if you haven't read Ace of Spades, I suggest you do so, because it is really good. So much. So yeah, I had to get I have the US edition and I have the UK edition, so you already know that it's really good if I got both editions. So I have that. Next book that I plan on reading in October, that is Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. I know what you're all thinking, like, why are you just not reading this? I don't know either. I don't have an answer for you. But I am planning on reading this in October because I feel like it fits that. But also, like, the Barnes & Noble's having a sale earlier in June. So I got 50% off. So it was a great deal. And I felt like, oh, this would be a good time to pick this book up. So I got this as well. And last but not least, I had got this from LitJoy Crate. These are special editions, Laini Taylor editions. And they are books of, excuse me. I'm trying to get the book. Of Strange the Dreamer right here. So these are special edition books right here. And then I got Muse of Nightmares, so this one has Laszlo on this cover, and the second book has Sarai. So these are special editions with annotations from Laini Taylor as she was writing the book. If I can find you an example, I shall, if I can find it. I know. Oh, and even the artwork. Like, let me show you the artwork, because it's amazing. Look at that. That's beautiful. But I know in this book, like Stranger Dreamer, she had, I'm trying to find you an example, because she had did annotations within the book as she was writing it. So, ooh, let me show you this art print too. Like, look. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my gosh, I'm a huge fan of Muse of Nightmares and Stranger Dreamer. So here's the annotations I was telling you about. So yeah, had to get these books because I'm really a big fan of them, and I know a lot of people aren't. I just feel like you have to be in the mood to read them, but they are so good, and I was so happy to get these books when I was able to. So yeah, so literally those are all the books that I had acquired in June. Those are a lot of books when I think about it. I don't know what was wrong with me. I need to slow down. But that is it, you guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Also, hit that subscriber button and that bell to be notified when I upload more videos in the future. But thank you so much for watching, you guys, and please stay healthy and stay safe. See ya.